Mr. Burale.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Karibu.
Asante sana.
Welcome to Ride Free with George.
Or Sante?
Yes, sir. How has your day been?
Not bad.
So far, it's starting off well. You look sharp, as usual.
It's a weakness, man.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Utatupea tips.
Asante.
Today you'll give us a few tips on how men should present themselves.
Kabisa.
But karibu, and we are very honored to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of Ride Free with George. We have Mr. Burale in the house.
And I'm sanitizing.
Kabisa?
Yes.
Definitely, very important. And you know Mr. Robert Burale as an MC, a motivational speaker, a pastor, you name it. Karibu sana.
Thank
sir.
you. Thank
yes, sir. Okay, sir. So I know you have a very interesting and perhaps the most unique story
Yes.
of this season out of all our guests.
Oh,
In terms of COVID,
Right.
first-hand experience, how was that? Oh my
well, it
goodness.
depends on where you hear it from.
What?
Some
Eh?
think I was paid 20 million.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Tuambie your story, sasa.
There are people who think my bank account is very big now
Uh-huh.
because of COVID. You know?
Very
No, but it was a scary experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pole sana.
It was very scary when I was told I'm positive.
Yes.
Oh, that was the most scary thing I've ever had to go through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how was it? I mean, how did you feel? Because some people get it and they're asymptomatic. That's
Yeah,
what they
but-
call it, without showing any signs.
Now, I wasn't asymptomatic.
Yes. Yeah.
It started with a cough.
Okay.
And then, as everybody else would have done, self-medicating. I rushed to the chemist, bought some medicine.
Yes.
A few days later, it's still on. Headaches, the same.
Okay.
But one time, I couldn't just breathe.
My.
And I decided to rush to hospital.
Wow.
And they kept me there. They said they have to take the tests.
Uh-huh.
And because I was having breathing difficulties,
Yes.
they kept me there for 36 hours as I awaited the results. And then they came and told me, unfortunately, Mr. Burale, you have tested positive. So you have to go into the isolation ward.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. And you were there for how long?
12 days.
But was it? Did you were placed on oxygen also, right?
Yes, yes.
To assist with the breathing.
Yes.
Yeah, pole sana. But nonetheless, we thank God that you're okay.
I'm okay now,
You're
and I thank
back.
God.
You're back. You're back.
With a bang.
Karibu sana.
And I'm here with you now.
You're here with us.
Yeah.
One thing we want to find out,
Yes.
especially, let's talk about men.
Yes.
And you talk to a lot of men. You share your experiences. And I've been talking to people about money.
Right.
Some of our guests, or most of our guests, I always ask about money, how they make it, the various things they do to generate income. My discussion with you, I want it to be men and money.
Okay.
Why is it important for men to have money? Why can't a man who has a lady who's making the money be okay? Why can't he be okay with that? You know, the spouse or the girlfriend has money.
It is important for a man to have money because we are largely, society has told us, and rightly so, we are the priests, the providers, and the protectors. And this is close to me because I am one man who was very poor with finances, went into debt because of lack of financial prudence, you know. That almost took me to some very bad places. And I go to a place and I said, you know what, I need to make money. But then how do you make that money? Through your gifts and talents that God has bestowed upon you. Because your wealth is in your purpose. And it is important because men are also ego. You know, I should be able to tell you, man, bro, let's go and have a cup of tea. Let's go and have lunch as we discuss. And my wallet is not telling me, are you sure? You know? So it's important to be able to say, okay, I can pay my kids' school fees. I can take care of my wife. You know, it helps a man. A man who sometimes, and yes, we go through issues, sometimes you lack, but a man who lacks for a long time walks away from himself and gets into depression. So it is important for a man to have money. How you get it is through your purpose, because that's where all your giftings and your financials are. Passion gets to profit. And your passion is pushed and propelled by your purpose. Yes, sir.
Now you're talking about your experiences pushed you to this, to now share what your experience was, right?
It's not a secret, and it's in my book that I went through addictions, a strip club addiction that led me to borrow heavily. And if you're borrowing to go to a strip club, there is no return on investment. So I went into debt. You get to a place, you borrow Peter to pay John, and then you look for George to pay Peter. You understand? So it takes you into a very deep pit. And that was painful for me. In fact, one of the times I tried committing suicide was because of debt. You know? And I say time has come for me now to start helping and dealing with myself and looking at financial streams based on my talent. I'm a trainer, I'm an event host, I'm an author, I'm an actor, I'm a producer. All those are financial streams of income, you know. And at least I can take care of my daughter. I can take care of my home, you understand? And that, when a man can take care of his business, that's a man who is very comfortable. And I'm at that place, to be honest with you. Yes, sir.
On the addiction bit,
yes,
I relate with you.
Right.
I can say that. There are a lot of things I also had to overcome. And a lot of men in Kenya are going through the same thing.
Yes.
It could be substance addiction, it could
Yes.
be whatever it is.
Yes.
Some form of addiction that they're battling. What drove you to the point where you said enough is enough? And what was the turning point for you?
Well, I was such in a mess. I was in the bottom of the pits. And one time I woke up and I felt filthy. And I said, man, Robert, you got to get your life together. And I had a conversation with the man in the mirror. And I said, enough is enough. And let me tell you, that is the day I had a visitation from the Lord. And he says, listen, just come unto me as you are and let me help you get out of this. Because you feel inadequate, you feel worthless. And when you feel worthless, you get into a place of having suicidal thoughts. You almost get into a depression where you feel you have nothing to offer to anybody, you know. And then the world also has a way of telling you, it's true, you have nothing to offer. And when people start listening to such voices, you will not become that who God created you to be. You understand, George? And that place of emptiness is what made me say enough is enough. You will lose friends. And also one of the things that made me really look at my life when, you know, I'm a father to a very beautiful girl. And when somebody else also looks up to you as a father or as a mother, for that matter, for ladies who are watching, you now need to wake up and say, you know what? I have a responsibility. If you don't get yourself together, you're hurting other people who don't deserve you to hurt them. Yeah.
Okay, so you are on the journey.
Yes.
You're on the journey. Things are better. There are things that you had to drop off. Obviously, your addictions and things like that.
Yes, sir.
But that straight path is tough. It's
very
tough, and I can also attest. It's tough,
Yes.
right? To stay on the straight and narrow.
Yes.
What keeps you on the straight and narrow?
Number one, the thing, it's a tough journey, George. We are fighting almost every day. You know, this life is a battle upon battle. The few things that keep me in check, number one is dependence on God. That for me is almost my be all and end all. Number two is to have accountability partners, friends you're accountable to. And then, to thy own self be true. All right? God, accountable friends, accountability friends, to thine own self be true. Those three things keep me on the straight and narrow. And I remain in prayer, because if you feel you're standing, that's when you will fall. So I'm always alert. I try to be alert all the time. Yes, sir. I pray a lot. And I tell God, if you leave me to my own devices, I will mess up Monday to Monday. And then to my friends, the friends who we tell each other as it is. No hard feelings, from a place of love. If one is blundering, we say, hey, get yourself here together. If they feel I'm blundering, they'll call me and tell me, RB, get yourself together. And then, am I true to myself? If you're true to yourself, other things will not bring you down, especially malicious people who will want to remind you about things that should bring you down. To thy own self, be true.